Now, depending on the situation, you're going to adjust the tuning of your snare drum so it fits the style of music that you are playing. Well, in this video, I am going to show you a drum that has a full-bodied, deeper tone and why you would want it in a solid shell. What's going on, everybody? Nick Costa here, and in this video I am going to show you the MCD 6.5 by 14 solid shell Claro Walnut Snare drum. Now, this drum has a ton of body because of the sound characteristics of Claro Walnut, and in this video you're going to hear it through a few different tunings to see how that affects the sound. Now, before we dive into this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the bell notification. That way you're notified of any additional content that I upload to the channel. Now, throughout this Snare Saturday series, you may have noticed a trend of either drums from Ludwig or from MCD. MCD, which stands for Master Crafted Drums, is a small drum boutique based out of Philadelphia, PA. Now, I was one of the folks who would build the drums for MCD, but because MCD is a small boutique shop, not many people knew the name. So at one point when I was scouring the internet, this popped up on Craigslist, and it was in a pawn shop in the LA area. After going back and forth with the owner of the shop, I was able to get this drum for a pretty reasonable price, around $300. And if you think about it, the shell alone is worth that much. Now, once again, this drum is a 6.5 by 14 solid shell Claro Walnut Snare drum. Because it's steam bent solid, it is one piece of wood that's put into a steamer, so you can bend it into a shell. The only glue that is on it is the scarf joint where the two ends meet, and for the re-rings on the top and bottom. This shell in particular has maple re-rings on the top and bottom. Additionally, MCD outfitted this drum with 10 all-star cast lugs, and those lugs alone were worth a pretty penny. Now, rounding out the hardware on this drum, it has gold triple flange hoops on the top and bottom, and the drum originally came with a Nickelworks throw-off. And as great as Nickelworks was, if you actually experienced the Nickelworks throw-off, you're well aware, because of the plastic components, they would break over time. So I reached out to my friend Mike Dorfman over at Trick Drums and was able to get a 24 karat plated trick throw-off. Now, this drum has a 1/2 inch air grommet towards the bottom of the shell, because like I've said in other videos, we've looked at this from a physics perspective and wanted that air to get out of the drum after it resonated through the shell. Now, because I purchased this drum to have something that was full of body and tuned a little bit lower, I wanted to put heads on it that gave me more of a direct sound. So because of that, I put a Remo P77 coated head on the top and a Remo Ambassador snare side head on the bottom. Now, the snare wires are the ones that were offered with every MCD snare, which were German snare wires from WorldMax. So just like every other snare demo video that I upload to the channel, I'm going to play this drum through a few different tunings. I'm going to start off in a lower tuning and slowly work my way up to a higher tuning. So, enough of me talking, let's dive in. So you can hear, again, because it's a solid shell, it's one piece of wood, you have a broader tuning range. On top of that, as you're getting towards that higher end, the drum isn't choking out as much. Now, regardless of tuning, if you wanted a direct snare sound, putting that PowerStroke P77 coated head on the top allows you to get that without having to use a bunch of moon gels or any of those dampeners that you're a fan of, or a ton of tape. Remember, this drum has triple flange hoops, so if it had die-cast hoops, it would be even more direct than it is right now. But either way, I would love to get your feedback and what you thought of this snare drum, so make sure you leave it in the comment section below, letting me know. Additionally, if you have any other questions, you can leave that in the comment section as well, and I'll try my best to answer them. Finally, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see some of the other Snare Saturday videos, I put a link to the playlist in the description below. And one last thing, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. That way it makes it a little bit easier for others to find it. And that is it. Thank you so much for checking out this video on the MCD 6.5 by 14 solid shell Claro Walnut Snare Drum. And until next time, see you later.